Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Friends of the Show. I am Kehm3x, and I'm here with my best friend, Austin, and we are here to recap Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 15, Episode 15, Stranded Under the Tuscan Sun.
Not to be confused with that movie.
With Diane Lane?
I think so. Under the Tuscan Sun. Never saw it.
Never saw it. Had the DVD, but...
You said that's all I need to know. So we have a lot to talk about today.
We sure do. This episode was like underwhelming and overwhelming at the same time.
Yeah, I had a lot to say. I had a lot that I felt, but it was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, because my opening, I thought I was going to get Bose diving into why she said Amanda's got a cult of her own. And then they didn't even acknowledge that she said it one time, not in the previously on, not in the opening scene, nothing.
Bose didn't say
they just
nothing.
Woke up the next day and everything was fine.
Yeah, and all they were focused on was Amanda's business still, which was like, no one's even focused on that. We're talking about the culty part. Who cares anymore?
Who cares about your business? Honestly, it's your business.
And not Rachel Zoe. She don't care because she said, why are we doing this in a vineyard?
In a vineyard while we're stomping.
That was a fair question. If I'm in a vineyard, don't do this again.
Continuing and continuing on about them.
Seriously. So I love that you said Bravo scared of mentioning the cult because they do get sued a lot these days. So
especially by the housewives.
By the housewives, mainly by the housewives.
I think if you're on a reality show, you got to be mindful of yourself previous to the show.
Agreed.
And you need to be mindful of who you are on the show and who you are when the show's not showing.
And if you're not just an infomercial walking around, it isn't that big a deal, I would think, to be yourself.
No.
Amanda. Sorry, this is just an Amanda hate podcast this whole season.
At this point, because that's the only thing to talk about.
That's true. That's why fans are not happy with this season.
Yeah, I didn't even want to look at what they were saying on Twitter this week because I'm so annoyed by it.
You said, I already know it's not going to be nice.
And I was getting enough like Reddit little update things with the taglines, and I was just like, yeah, I've had enough. I've seen what I need to see.
Same. I don't need a second opinion on it.
And I think a lot of it comes back to like putting Kyle on pause because I think she's antagonizing this just as much as like she's antagonizing the Dorit situation.
Oh, totally.
Like feeding into Amanda's insecurities so that it continues to just be a fight instead of addressing it the same way that Bose does and just tells her to talk about her business as a woman and not about her stats.
And Kyle's always kind of done that on this show. Like if there's someone everyone is upset with, Kyle manages to be like, I'm here for you. I'm so sorry you're going through this. And it's like, have some loyalty to the people you say are your friends.
Just like you told Kathy.
Oh.
I'm your sister. Who are you going to believe? Me or the person you just met?
That was crazy, though, because remember when Rinna went after Kathy?
And Kyle just ran away?
And Kyle believed Rinna, not Kathy. Clearly, by the way they fell out over it for years.
Oh.
And I'm just like, you know what, Kyle? I've always been a fan, but I do think you need to be put on pause. We both think Kyle needs to be put on pause. It's just been a very revealing season for her in terms of she only knows how to play the housewife game in one kind of way. And it's so obvious to the fans at this point that they're like, you're not some innocent victim here, Kyle.
She's coming off as a 15-year-old housewife.
Yeah.
Like, she hasn't adapted to, like, any kind of new ways of doing the show. Mm-hmm. And so she's, like, still doing her same Kyle bullshit from 15 years ago.
Which was cool 15 years ago in 2010. But now we're in the 2020s.
When the eyeliner was thicker, just like 2016.
Dorit.
You look like a raccoon.
That was scary. And I'm glad you've got your makeup figured out.
Yes.
Because we were both like, whoa, did you see that flashback? It just made me realize how much I've loved Dorit all along, though. Because she showed up on this show ready to fight.
She did.
With Erika.
With anyone.
Anyone in her way.
She had an accent, too, and I appreciated it because she's not from anywhere but Connecticut.
That's my favorite, when they be like, she's from Connecticut. She has a British accent. I do miss that British accent,
though. She said, I'm from New England.
But I talk like this. Yet another episode of Amanda being the star of the show.
Unfortunately so. She continues to just berate us with her voice, her balking,
Her therapy lingo.
her crying.
With no tears coming out.
With no tears. Just a whiny, wimpy voice of like, don't say that to me. Like,
Wimpy.
whenever Sutton was in the room telling her about ChatGPT, she was like, of course it's mean-spirited, instead of being like kind of cunty about it.
Yeah. The way I rolled my eyes when she's like, that's mean-spirited. I'm like, if you talk like that one more time, like a textbook, I'm going to throw a textbook because stop talking. You're like a robot.
It's
Amanda.
like a baby, like baby talk for adults.
Yeah.
It's gross.
If a robot could be a baby, that's what it would be. And I don't want to hate on her because it's like, that's all we've talked about this season, but I just have a bad vibe about her.
Yeah, I'm really tired of talking about her, but there's nothing else to go off of on the show. I will say this episode, at least we got a Dorit, Kyle, Erika showdown a little bit.
Agreed.
But the most, I think, profound thing was Dorit shading herself instead of anything else. She just continued to sit further and further into the shade, and that's the only thing I could think about in the conversation. I could not focus on anything else but her scooting.
Once she almost scooted down the railing of a stairs, I was the same way. I was like, Dorit, you're going to fall. You're making me nervous, but also real, because the way I'd be looking for shade in that situation, she was 20 feet apart from them. She
was like mid-sentence they would be talking, and she'd get up, move another 3 feet.
I loved it.
It was iconic.
So, what do you think of the Dorit and Kyle situation? Because I know fans are kind of torn on whose side they're on. We are definitely on Dorit's side, but I'm just curious what you think of what's happening, what they're actually fighting about.
Well, I noticed Kyle have like a little Freudian slip and be like, this is all over a text message from
Season 13.
Season 13. And I don't even remember what the text message is at this point. So I don't know what they're fighting about. And I don't know why Kyle thinks everyone knows what they're fighting about.
She said my text, as if any of, like, half of them weren't even on the show when that text came in, Kyle, so they don't know what you're talking about.
And to share it with the world. Who is the world? Who is we, to quote Rachel and Bose? Who is we? We don't know you.
Speak for yourself, baby. Speak for yourself. And Kyle, I've always been a fan, but girl, this season's been hard to watch. The last few seasons with Kyle have been hard to watch since we now know she was lying.
Yes.
About what she was up to.
She's a big...
late in life.
L word. Liar.
The L word. Starring Kyle Richards.
As Bette Porter.
Because with her power suit.
Her power suit.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost saw Kyle's side, but then when she kept saying, we, I'm like, speak for yourself.
Yeah, just say something about how you felt for once. And the only time you did is when you said, it's over the text message. That's the only time you ever brought the attention to yourself.
Very revealing.
And very revealing.
Because now we know what it's really about.
And I wish Dorit would have been focused enough to notice that she said that, because I think the whole fight would be over already.
I know. It would not have lasted into a to be continued.
No.
That pissed me off, because I really was like, finally we're getting into the meat of a different fight.
And then to not even give me like a next time on over this petty bullshit that we've been doing the whole season. Like, it's not that exciting.
And we only have that few episodes left. Like, you need to give me the next time on.
Yes.
That's all we have to look forward to when the episode ends.
Especially when it's crap.
Yeah, boring. Even though Kathy and Jennifer Tilly, again, friends of the show, love them. Don't get rid of them.
No.
Kyle, is there a place for Kathy on the show without Kyle?
No.
I know. I don't want to lose Kathy.
Because she doesn't come around without Kyle, I don't think.
And I wouldn't either, to be fair.
And they're very loyal as a family.
Even when they hate each other, it's like, you don't get to talk about us.
Yeah, I think if Bravo put Kyle on pause, Kathy would remain loyal to Kyle.
Kathy would be like, I'm taking a year off.
Yeah.
Or however long.
And she doesn't want to be in the drama anyway. She's just there to be Buddha Kathy.
And that's why I love her, because even in this episode when Kyle was going on her, really, Kathy, I'm your sister. I'm your sister back. You're supposed to have my back. I'm like, Kyle, that's rich coming from you, who notoriously does not have her sister's backs in fights on this show.
No, and it was like so aggressive for being like seemingly 8 in the morning.
And I'm like, Kathy's not the problem here.
No.
She did not do anything. And in fact, she was backing you up, Kyle. She was the one trying to be like, Amanda, just know your place.
Read the room.
Read the room. And do you know what else? This is off topic of the show. I saw someone on Instagram try to tag Kathy Hilton and be like, Amanda's 20 years younger than you. Would you be okay with someone treating Paris like this?
Yes, she probably would.
And Kathy responded. She said, we're filming a TV show. And I said, I love her.
Kathy,
You're the
you're
best.
so real.
You are real. It made me think of her driving Paris to jail, listening to Christina Aguilera. And Kathy was just like,
Yes. While she sobs in the passenger seat. It's one of my favorite pictures of all time.
And Kathy could not, she looks exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Just unbothered.
And I love how she said, Conrad Hilton didn't put
Oh
up
my
with that
God.
with Zsa Zsa Gabor. Just so flat.
I rewound that like 2 times.
It was so funny. I had to stop myself. I was like, she's just like a historian on the Hilton family.
She is.
She's not even like the blood, but she knows the history.
I didn't even realize Conrad was married to Zsa Zsa Gabor.
No.
So we learned something new. Thanks, Kathy. Truly a historian.
Historian.
And I know your point was, Kyle, keep Dorit's name out your mouth.
Yes, because that's all you talk about. Anytime you talk about something with somebody, you're like, Dorit, have you noticed she's late? Dorit, have you noticed she's erratic? Dorit, do you notice
Manic.
her spending? And then she's like, I don't think erratic was the right word to use. No, you used manic,
Which is worse than erratic.
which is worse than erratic. And if I was Dorit, I would be putting you in your place pretty heavy.
My favorite part, too, was the editors doing the flashbacks of every time Kyle went around talking to everybody about this, being like, well, I think she's being erratic or manic, erratic or manic. And then suddenly on the trip, she's like, maybe. They also kept in the flashbacks where she's like, well, maybe that was too strong a word. So she knew that was coming for her.
Oh, yes. You know better, girl.
You would think, since she's the longest running cast member on this show, but...
Who didn't want anything to do with her mental health being on the show.
Ooh.
Because she didn't say anything till over a year later, just like Dorit said.
Dorit has told no lies.
No lies have fallen from her lips.
Although, did you see Dorit on Watch What Happens Live?
Yeah, last week. Mm-hmm. She was a little stiff, but I think the whole show was a little stiff.
It always is stiff. I don't love that show, but I watched for Dorit, and Sarah Michelle Gellar was there.
I watched for SMG, and then I was a little disappointed, but, you know.
Also stiff. I'm like, Andy, that's on you. You're supposed to make people feel comfortable.
That girl was like this in her chair. I wish y'all could see me, but I am sitting straight up with my shoulders leaned forward.
You're sitting like a
Like
world
I gotta
leader.
go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you're holding your tummy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and did you see how they said Dorit isn't her mortgage still ain't paid?
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
I'm like, that only will help Kyle if they keep Kyle. So Dorit, pay that shit off before next season.
Yeah, don't go to Gucci no more.
Just for a bit.
Just like we're gonna throw it to OC real quick. Like they told Jen,
Oh, pay your damn
sell your
bills.
Rolex.
Uh-huh. Especially when you didn't buy it. Like, that's just like $10,000 sitting in your drawer for no reason.
Just go for it. Even if it don't work, you're gonna get like money for it still.
You don't need a Rolex, girl. You live in Orange County. Come on. And this is quick, too, but... So since Housewives of Miami was canceled, Larsa Pippen saw that clip of Dorit talking about her mortgage not getting paid all this time. And Larsa said, well, that's interesting because all the ladies of Miami, our mortgages are paid. But you canceled our show. She was trying to say, we actually have money. Ooh. Sorry, Dorit. Don't want to count your money, but when your mortgage ain't paid and it breaks news, we're going to talk about it.
I think she's expecting PK to like pay for it though.
Yeah, she is, I think. That's my thought, too.
And if they are in litigation for it, she's probably, just not paying it because she's not supposed to, maybe. And he probably is. especially if there's children involved, and like California laws and whatever probably somehow tie back to support her for a little bit and pay some of that stuff, because we've watched a lot of these housewives go through these dirty divorces.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of them in California have gotten some kind of spousal support, alimony,
True.
one-off big-time payment because of California laws in divorce.
Shannon Bedore.
We had...
She had a good settlement.
Yeah, she had a good settlement. Sutton has had a good settlement.
Sutton had the best of anybody, if we're being real.
Let's be real.
Sutton, I want to have your life.
Sutton.
Even though I was watching this episode going, man, we need our old Sutton back, because this one isn't cutting it.
We need Sutton Strack a little.
Not Sutton Brown.
Sutton Brown was whining about the ChatGPT, and I was like, Sutton, they didn't specifically ChatGPT nasty things about Amanda. They just said ChatGPT, Amanda Francis.
I said the same thing. I was like, they weren't even trying to look for the negative. They just looked her up, and that's what came up.
And then I feel like when Amanda does the same thing to Bose, that she looks up for the negatives.
Totally.
Because it doesn't make sense that, like, yeah, the GPTs will, like, feed you information that you feed it. Like, it's a mirror reflection of you. But if you're just putting in the name, tell me about blah, 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 it will give you pros and cons of that person, most likely. But it's not going to list
only
negatives.
And the way she said it felt so rehearsed.
Snidey.
She was like, oh, that's why she's saying all this about me, because it's all true about herself. I'm like, Bose has a real resume, though.
And she has a one-off little workshop, not digital courses, that's like an online university of manifestation.
Right. And Bose didn't make her money on selling things to people. She had a job.
And if Bose says that her course provides real detail on how to ask your boss for a raise, how to, you know, focus and get this and then focus and get that. Yeah. Then I have more credibility towards her, because Amanda hasn't even told us once, other than manifesting money, what her course teaches you to do. And
as they told her at the vineyard, they were like, you're only giving us like selling pitches of your business. You're not telling us about yourself.
Yeah. That's like coming back to she gave stats over like story. She can't give a story of her business, but she can give you stats. Like, and she does call them customers, and you would think she'd call them something else so that they felt a little more close. But especially if you're going to be manifesting, it just feels like you'd have some of that loaded language.
Customer feels a little scammy when we're talking about manifesting.
Scammy. Yeah.
Because I'm not walking out of there with a smoothie. That's what a customer service person does. And I loved the whole thing at the vineyard there, though, because first of all, it was Bose being like, the thing you said, stats over realness. And then, you know, Rachel Zoe being like, why are we doing this? Why are we still talking about this?
And she's just concerned about a grape being in her toe.
And that was real, because you know those little vines would stick you.
I couldn't do that.
I don't want to ever stomp grapes. That seems gross.
Yeah, that seems so disgusting.
I hate feet. I was with Rachel Zoe so much on that.
And then they put their sandy feet in there.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I said, is there a filter or something? Or is that sediment? And that's what we call the sediment in wine.
That's why wine is poison. We drink the dirt off the floor.
Oh, God.
And I love an occasional glass of wine, but that really grossed me out from it.
Yeah, that's why I can only buy, like, certain wines that don't have sediment in the bottom, because, like...
Yeah, because if you see the floaters, you could just put it back.
Or you taste it. You ever gotten, like, a mouthful of that? Oh, God.
It's like copper in your mouth. Just, what do I do? So the end of the episode led to... The girls went to dinner, and it was Kyle versus Dorit. Again. And we didn't even really get anywhere with it. Kyle was dragging everybody in, like, no, they all feel this way. And Dorit didn't want to hear it.
She didn't want to hear it, as nobody wanted to hear it, because others stepped in and said, we are not part of your we.
Even Rachel, who hasn't really gotten too involved in drama, was like, I just met her, actually, so I'm not speaking on someone who knows her. It was just an observation one time.
She said, I don't like people being late. It gives me anxiety. Anyone can say that about anybody that's known me for a day or known me for 16 years.
Agreed.
Because that's not anything but an observation. And most people, if one person's late, they get anxiety.
Yeah, because then you're waiting
And nobody likes to wait.
And we could be late to something. No one wants to be late.
No.
Yeah. I'm really just looking forward to seeing next week Erika chime in.
Yeah, it's about time Erika said something this season because she's been so quiet.
She's been inactive.
I miss when she would just have like a pop performance randomly on the show.
Yeah.
And I wish that she could get back to those days.
Erika, we will come be in the audience.
Yeah, like go on tour again, girl. Just do like a little like
Club scene.
We'll
be the front row.
Yes.
Because I'm always an Erika Jane defender. Even through all that mess, I was like, I do not believe that we should condemn a wife of a man's crimes.
No.
So, Erika, love to you, girl. And your trial's coming up, and we'll be thinking about you.
Fingers crossed.
I hope you don't got to pay no $35 million like you said.
Because you ain't got it.
Definitely not living in that house.
Coming soon.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
At least we live in America where you can say, oh, sorry.
That's a good point. And Erika can just file after.
Yeah, that's a lot of times what happens.
And she should. Why should she have to personally pay? I've told my mom all this. I'm like, where's all the other lawyers who worked for her ex-husband?
And like...
Why aren't they paying anything? Because they took some of that stolen money too.
If she had no, like anything but her name on one account or whatever it is... It doesn't make sense because there was a ton of hands in the pot. You're only coming after her because she's the most public figure. And then, like, just because a name is on an account doesn't mean you know what happens in that account, especially if it's a marriage that
between a man and a woman
controlling the finances.
Yeah.
He'll probably just be like, I need an account open in your name because of X, Y, Z.
For business purposes.
Yeah. And then you just do it. And you never actually participate in the account.
Especially her.
It's the same if you were like faking a social media like account.
True. And she was trying to be a pop star, so why would she be like, no, I don't need a business account?
Yeah.
I would be like her and be like, okay, I probably need that. This lawyer is telling me I need that.
Yeah.
Even though he was doing it for nefarious purposes.
He said, go be a pop star, baby. I need to embezzle.
If you're around all the time, you're going to notice. Plus, he was cheating on her. Ugh.
Oh.
So we veered off. So that tells you about this episode of Beverly Hills.
Saying go be a pop star, baby, and embezzling is wild.
And then being shocked, him being like, you know what? No, I have dementia.
Never mind, I've got dementia now.
I didn't do that because I had dementia.
I don't remember anything.
Honestly, if I was old, I would do that.
I'd hit my head a couple times just to make sure it knocked in.
And had some bruises under his eyes. He did.
He did.
He set that up.
I forgot.
And now he's all old and feeble in the jail. I'm like, you better not tell no one why you're in there.
No, they probably hit his eyes with little socks with rocks.
And coins.
Oh.
So, ladies, we don't know how many more episodes you have, but I really hope it picks up in these final episodes and we get some real drama.
Or mix up the whole cast.
It's either they're going to have to mix them. I don't want a whole recast.
I don't want a whole recast. I don't want it, but
it might have to happen.
It might have to happen.
The problem is, who do they get in Beverly Hills that's not going to be like an influencer?
They move Heather Dubrow.
They should move Heather Dubrow. Larsa from Miami should move to L.A.
I don't know about Larsa, though.
Larsa's a hot mess, and her own cast doesn't even like her.
To me, I just think of Larsa Pippen when she's being with Future.
I think of her hanging out with Kim K.
That's the same era.
That is the same, like 2010.
Yeah.
You're right.
And so, that's the only Larsa that I can see.
See, I want Dubrow to move, but I'm like, will she participate in drama in Beverly Hills if she's a newbie?
She has to, or she's just not going to be on the show.
That's true. She'll get the boot.
Even on OC.
They gave her the boot.
Oh, they did? She's not coming back next season?
Oh, no, she will be for 20. I just meant back in 11 or 12 when she got fired.
Yeah, because she wouldn't participate.
And that's when Kelly showed up. But I also think
Terry went and made 5 shows at the same time and was like,
we don't need that.
Take a break, baby.
Yeah. I like Heather Dubrow. She's another controversial figure.
I like her.
I want to be that rich.
Yeah.
I don't need to be famous. I want that money, though.
Yeah, I want a towel warmer.
Right next to the shower.
It wasn't, though. She had to walk out of the shower to get it.
Well, I noticed, remember Megan said that? It was Megan, right? It's
I think
like,
so.
why you gotta walk all the way across the room?
Yeah.
I noticed in like season 16 when Heather comes back, it's right next to the shower. So she definitely heard what Megan said and then changed it.
She changed her mind.
That's so awesome, Megan. You got that in her head.
She said, I look ridiculous.
I'm cold walking. Okay, so ladies of Beverly Hills, step it up because now we're talking about Orange County.
Yeah,
so,
step it up because we just got a whole nother county going.
We can't help it. Our faves are our faves. And right now, Beverly Hills, you are not the fave.
Yeah, no, you're killing me slowly.
I don't think anyone would say this season's been their favorite.
No, it's had nothing go on but Amanda.
And, you know, I'll always gauge a season by, is there things I can quote from it? I don't recall one thing I'm going to be quoting.
Read the room.
Read the room, and also, is that your dog? Just because that's a funny response to anything.
I feel bad laughing at it.
Not laughing at you, Amanda. We're laughing at the fact that Kathy didn't read the room and just said, is that your dog? Oh. Why would she be talking about her dog like that, girl? But this was an interesting episode. I guess we'll try again next week.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We also might be switching things up a little bit. So if you notice this podcast coming out on probably Monday instead of Wednesday, that's because that's what we did. The other thing is we have Real Housewives of Rhode Island coming up and premiering. So we plan to really get a head start on that series and get out content for you guys as quickly as possible. So
whoop, whoop. And then a few days later is Atlanta. So we're going to have a real good time with those two. I already know it.
We'll be seeing you guys plenty then.
And we're going to have a lot to talk about.
So much more to talk about.
Long episodes. Don't worry, everybody.
Oh, thank you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.